Hi guys, Tucker here with a new video, and this video will be a discussion video about Diablo 4. So I finished the campaign and I wanted to give my opinion about the campaign because I followed every single cutscene, every single cinematic, and I must say that really if you do care about cinematics, if you do care about storylines into games, this is like rewatchable. It could be a mini movie. It is really good, and I wish that they actually made a series or some kind of. I'm gonna lower the sound a bit, some kind of anime or something on Netflix or whatever, like Amazon or whatever, about Diablo, because I think it could be very awesome first and foremost, but also just the story is there. Of course, the story writing is a bit contrived sometimes. Sometimes you're talking to yourself like, why is the villain just doing this? Why are they doing like stupid acts like a James Bond villain, right? And that's just how the nature is for some games where you don't really want to put like too much agency towards the villains, so you can actually progress the story faster. Because if you make the story more around the villain and the purpose of the villain and such, the storyline will be a lot longer, a lot more complicated, and it should also be gameplay relative, right? But I think it's really cool how they actually made the cinematics. I don't want to spoil too much because I'm not going to show you guys, but it is just mind blowing, especially the Act 5, Act 6. I don't know if it was Act 6, but Act 5, where you were in hell. I'm going to spoil that because you're going to hell, and you had like a cinematic because of the blood petals. That is just movie worthy. Like it's insane. I think they should really be proud about the work that they actually did on Diablo 4. I think the gameplay is just magnifique. Although again, I watched a bit of PvP videos here and there, so I think there is potential for PvP. So you will see some PvP content on this channel for Diablo 4. But I think they really nailed the gameplay. I think they also nailed the gameplay loop. Of course, the nightmare dungeons, already saw that, and like the wall tiers that you can change at any point of time. I think all of this is really awesome, and I highly recommend this game. I think this game is really worthwhile. Of course, not everyone has the needs and necessities to actually buy a game. It is costly. I can understand that. You have multiple websites where you can have the game for a bit cheaper. But I would highly recommend this game if you love like action RPG. Although again, I'm not really a fan of this format of gameplay, but again, I played Lost Ark, really liked it. I thought like, okay, Diablo 4, I'm going to try it. Tried the beta, bought the game, and I'm falling in love with the actual gameplay. I think it's very fun to do dungeons, especially with friends. I think it's also fun to do the events, although the events are very repetitive. So if you feel like it's repetitive for you, it is repetitive for everyone. I think everyone kind of becomes a bit old with all those wandering souls kind of escort like gameplay and such. It's always the same, but I think the dungeons, the bosses, the mechanics, the storyline, again, mind-blowing. How you follow the three characters, like again, I'm going to spoil a bit, with Lorath, Donan, and Nero, and kind of follow how the storyline is going to progress with them, with the horror dreams. I think it's awesome. I think the storyline between, again, I didn't really play too much Diablo 3 and 2 and also 1, so I do not know really the story, like the overarching story. I think I'm going to watch every single cinematic and every single storyline video out there to actually keep up myself to date. But like the contrast between the angels and the demons, and how sometimes you feel like the angels are not really right, especially like the fallen angels, like in Ares. I think it is really well made. I think like storyline, again, you will see also some contrast, and so some things like you're going to tell yourself like, why is he or she doing that? Why is the villain really just a James Bond villain, like letting you live while you could just die right there? But I think again, a lot of games use that, a lot of films use that, a lot of series use that, and I think it is just how it is. If you want to have profound story writing and storylines, you don't really seek that into a game most of the time, especially not like a mainstream game. But I think in general, I am a bit mind blown, and I want more. Unfortunately, there is not really more. There is like some hints for like future storylines, maybe an expansion or something. But I think they should really be proud. So now, if you finish the campaign, again, I want to highly recommend to finish the campaign. You can level to like more than 50, although it slows down from what I've heard. You really want to finish the campaign first, so you can have multiple activities more. Like for example, the Whispers of the Dead. You have to collect things, and you can just bring it to the Tree of Whispers and collect gear from that. You can do the PvP activities. I think it is there and there. I'm not really sure. I'm going to explore a bit and do those activities. If you're doing events, you also have like some currencies, which is the obols, like currency vendors, and you can have like some gamble items, which at higher levels seems that it is a bit less random. I do get legendaries from that. At least I got like multiple legendaries for the amount of obols I had. So it was very, very nice, especially since I am now level 46. I think the things I do regret on the game is that the actual abilities, like switching out and such, refunds, it doesn't cost too much. It does cost so much. Like it is 68k. Again, this is farmable. Like I have not a lot because I did do a lot of aspects removal and such. But in general, you're going to have the money to actually like how it's called, respec. The only problem I see is every time you're going to respec, you have to put the nodes back in and such, especially if you want to test things out. Like for example, me, I want to test things out to make videos about. It's not really handy, and I do understand why they want to do that. It's to keep the money a bit like low on the lower side, but also put like abilities onto your tree and have that as an identity into the game. But I think if they could make loadouts or have a cost, like for example, I don't know, 1 million or 2 million or 3 million, something, I don't care, where you can spend that money and then you can switch freely the skills with a loadout system where you put like name, like for example, the pulverized build that I'm playing, like for example, this one, the shockwave pulverized build, you can name it and then you can just switch based on the name that you're putting for yourself. So you said like, look, I'm going to play shockwave, shock blast, shockwave, pulverize. I'm going to click on it. You get the build for that, and then if you want to play the tornado build, you can just click on the tornado build, and you get that. For example, already put in by yourself, of course, not like automatic, but you put it yourself, and you can then switch between them. I think personally, this gameplay would be better. Although the immersion, I can understand the immersion of your build, and you're trying to build the legendaries around that, and you're going to try to build the paragons around that. I understand that, but I think the gameplay would be a lot better if you can switch and like have that quality of life. I can understand that quality of life is not always good for the gamers. Again, World of Warcraft changed a lot because of quality of life. It became worse, a bit like un-noob friendly, because noobs are going to play and they're going to feel like it's too easy, for example. But I think that's pure quality of life gameplay, and I think that could be very good for all kinds of players out there, even the most RPG ones. They do not have to interact with that mechanic, right? You can choose if you want to have multiple builds or not, and you have to pay a price for that. That would be actually very awesome, but I don't know if they're going to do that ever. But I'm just going to shout that. Gameplay wise, again, let's call that a mini review, right? it's a mini review because I didn't do any, like, every single activity. Most of it, I also watched it online on streams and YouTube videos, especially the nightmare dungeons and such. The gameplay loop is there, right? You have multiple activities, multiple things to do until you can cap out. At one point, you will be capped out with items, with paragons, with everything, and you're going to re-roll or wait for the first season to actually roll out, and then recreate the character and start from there. But I think if you're a completionist, you're going to have a lot of job to do. Like, for example, all this region progress, this is like account bound, right? Where it unlocks for all characters on the realm. So it's like from the get-go, you will have skill points, you have your paragon points, you will have everything unlocked, so you can actually use that on your second, third, fourth, fifth character, whatever character you're going to use. And I think that's very cool. And also all those collections and such, your aspects, all those things are very, very cool to do. So you have multiple ways to actually like being able to play the game and feel like you're going to get rewarded because of that. Also, unlocking the whole region is also very nice, so I'm going to work on that. And I'll do a lot of PvP testing and test a lot of builds. And that's actually what I want from a game. I do not want to have a game where it completes and that's it. Because, for example, Jedi Survivor, I love, like, Star Wars, for example. I do not play that because I do not feel like I'm rewarded for the money I'm going to spend on that game. So I prefer to watch it on YouTube, the whole movie, and that's it. Although I really like Star Wars, I don't think it's worth the money because there is no, like, there is replayability, but it's not like, come on, it's a solo game, right? And it's also not that difficult as well. I played the first game on the EA Pass, and then the EA Pass is gone, so now I didn't play Jedi Survivor. But again, that's a bit like my opinion about like solo games. And Diablo, it's a live service game, so it will always have seasons, it will always have things to do at one point in time. So you're doing like yourself a favor kind of by playing the game and having fun with it, and having your investment, because it's an investment what you're going to buy, worthwhile on long-term things. I played a lot of Diablo, and I'm very, very happy about what I'm doing right now. Now, what you can actually expect on the channel, of course, build videos. I'll try to make like PvP videos here and there once I'm actually PvPing. Hopefully it does. Again, it's not fair PvP, and the devs actually said that it's not going to, or not meant to be fair, which I can respect that. But hopefully it's a bit fair to a point where everyone can have a fighting chance, like a 1v1 or something like that. Or at least like you can show off a bit of skill, although I don't think it's really skillful, but we'll see. I'm going to test it. I'm going to do like nightmare dungeons, some guys here and there, but I'm going to enjoy my Diablo 4 journey. About World of Warcraft, again, we are a World of Warcraft PvP channel, and I do understand that some people are not interested in Diablo 4. I will try to do some World of Warcraft content. The issue what I have right now is I'm not really currently playing World of Warcraft PvP because I'm not satisfied with the product. At the moment, I feel like they dropped the ball immensely. I made multiple videos about it. I could remake a lot of the videos about that subject, but I feel like I'm talking to a wall most of the time. And some people do not like me kind of bitching about the current state, because it is kind of how it is, right? But the issue is I'm not really like someone that kind of shut up about like things that are not okay. And it is just not okay how the state is currently for PvP. And it's not like because they dropped a patch for PvP, like balance wise, that it is fixed, because it's more than just balance. People will realize that at one point where they feel like it is kind of balanced, although it will never be kind of balanced to PvP because it is just the nature of the game. I do think that people will realize that it is pure systemic, and how they actually are approaching the seasons, the CR, the MMR, the actual how it's called, systems of PvP brackets and such, the reward system, how PvP is played, everything should be like reworked or at least reimagined. And I don't know if they have the capacity to do that. I don't know if they have the team to do that. And I'm kind of worried about it. I'm worried as a gamer, but also I'm worried as a YouTuber because again, I'm not really like a YouTuber full time, right? I'm saying like a hobby, where I'm currently basing my channel about a game that doesn't really care about me as a player, like a PvPer, but also doesn't really care about the people that are playing on the game, to a certain extent. And that is worrying because at one point the people are going to leave and go to other games. And yeah, I'm kind of sad for that, but we'll see, we'll see. But anyways, it was a Diablo 4 video, so I talked a bit of World of Warcraft there because if some people watch till the end, they may hear my opinion about World of Warcraft right now. But yeah, very satisfied about the game. I think storyline 10 out of 10, cutscenes 10 out of 10. Gameplay, I would say that it is very very fun. Although I think Lost Ark does the fighting a bit better. Although I would say it is purely because like visually it is very appealing. I do not know if it's very different mechanics wise. I think yes, every single class or in Lost Ark has some kind of mechanic, and it's actually very fun to play around that. But they do not have the amount of spells that Diablo 4 has. So I do like Diablo 4 because of that. There's also multiple builds possible with Diablo 4. While for example, Lost Ark, you have like cookie cutter builds that are very very specific and narrow. So I would say that for real, it is a 10 out of 10. Like feel. I think like mount system is not that great though. It's very slow, very clunky. But I think it's because they want that to be. I don't think it's like a mistake. I think it's really thought about it, and they really want the game to feel a bit slower and the world bigger, and that does make the world bigger. Although with the waypoints a bit less, but still very fun. I think the systems are quite nice too. Maybe I will get bored very quickly. Oh, network disconnect. Whatever. It is what it is. But yeah, I'm looking forward to exploring the game a bit more and see what I can do with Diablo 4. Again, thank you for watching this video. I really appreciate you. Be sure to subscribe to the channel if you haven't done that yet. In the comments, you will find a link where you could buy Diablo 4 for a bit less. If you want to check that link, it would be highly appreciated. But also for yourself, you can just buy it for a lot less. And as a whole, yeah, I'm very very proud about the viewers, the subscribers, the donators, the members, everything that can help me and my channel to grow higher and bigger and better is very appreciated, because you help me and my family, of course, and it is very much a very big thing again. So thank you, thank you, thank you. Have a great day. Be sure to stay safe. We'll catch you very soon in the next video. Have a great day. Bye.